In this quick video guide, we're going to see how we can set up a three-point line system in Blender using an add-on that we can find in Blender, and that setups everything for us. We just need to, of course, adjust a little bit. So you can see here, I have created this interface. I'm going to show you how you can do it. So here I have the rendered, real-time rendered image with the cycles, and here I have the scene. So if I change something here, I can directly see the changing also happening in the rest of the scene. So you can see I can move the lights around and I have a different result right here. So this is my key light, which is the most important light. And then I have the fill light to get rid of the shadows on the opposite side of the key light. And then I have this backlight right here to have that enhanced edge or rim effect on the back. So let's get started, and I want to start from the beginning. So I'm going to go here and do a new general file so we can start from the beginning. Now, first thing, we need a subject. Now, if you want to use the cube, that's fine. If you want to exercise, but to do a little bit things a little bit more interesting, I'm going to add here a monkey head, and then with the modifier, I'm going to add some subdivisions for the surface, so it's going to be better. And then right click, shade smooth. Now for the cube, I'm going to add a bevel, and again add some segments or subdivisions on the corners so it appears better. Right click and shade smooth also. Now before we get into the lighting in Blender, if you search for 3-point lights on the web, you will find a lot of images, a lot of references, a lot of inspiration that you can study. You can see that this technique is used in photography, but also in movies and TV series and in other many situations. So you can see that this setup is composed by the fill light, key light, background light, backlight, and essentially these three are the most important ones, but you can also then do your own starting from these. So this is just a technique that you can use, but you can of course then customize it and do whatever you want. Now in photography, in studios, in set, there are many different types of lights. Some of those are really concentrated, some of those are more ambient and diffused. So you can see that by using different lights, you're gonna get different type of lighting and also shadows. So those are the two most important things. So if you want to know more, you know that on the web you will find a lot of documentation, a lot of images and examples. So to activate the add-on, we need to go to Edit, Preferences, and go to Add-ons, search for Light. You need to do this, otherwise you won't see this system available in your Blender. So you need to activate this right here. It's called tri-lining. You can search for it. You search for light and then just activate it. Now also here, if you are if you have interest, you can go in the documentation if you want to know more. So let's close this and let's go to add lights. Now, of course, you can create your own 3-point light system using the standard lights in Blender, but this is a system that it's already prepared for you. So it's going to be faster and easier for you to set up a 3-point light system. So I'm going to click here and there you go. So you have these 3 lights right here. And this is a 4th light, which is already there when you start Blender. So I'm going to delete this with the X key. And there you go. So I only have these 3 lights right now. Now, before we see how we can fix those, how we can adjust them and move them around, let's see what's happening in the rendering. So what I do is usually I split my interface so that I can see 3D scene on one side and the real-time render on another. So what I'm gonna do is well, the easiest thing to do here is go to View, go to Area, and do first a vertical split like this. So this is the scene right here, and then I'm gonna do you can also right click here on the corner and do horizontal split or vertical split from here. There you go. So let's assume that this will be for the render. So I don't want to see my mouse right here, so I'm gonna press N of my keyboard. I'm gonna turn off the screencast keys right here. These are to show you the keys. I'm gonna activate it quickly right here. There you go. And then I want to get rid of all this stuff in the viewport so I can see the render, and that's it, nothing else. Now to run the render, I need to click here, and then I need to move on the panel for the render engine. I'm going to choose cycles. There you go. Right now we're using cycles, but it's really flat and gray because we're using in the world properties gray color. So because we want to concentrate on the light, I'm going to turn this color to black so you can see that it's barely visible. But that's fine because this is what we're going to do now. We're going to work with the lights. So this is the perfect situation because we can only work with the lights. So make sure here you have scene world, scene lights, and now we have this real-time rendering going. You can also pause and play the real-time render if you want. Now let's first address the key light. So if I select this, you can see that this is a backlight, this is the fill light, and this is the key light. Now everything has been set up for us thanks to the add-on. So we just need to find out where the key light is. So if I select this, you can see the key light is coming from the right side. So if I want to move it on the left side, I can just move it with the transformations. And this one here will be the fill light, which is used again to compensate shadows on the other side. So usually it's in the opposite side of the key light. And this is the backlight, so you can place it wherever you want, but right now I'm gonna place it right here. So it comes from behind. You can then change the height. So this is an initial setting, but you can customize it. You can customize the height, you can customize colors, intensity, and so on. So I'm gonna place this lower actually, like this. And so you can see this is pointing, I believe, on the cube. So make sure that when you add the 3-point line system, make sure you select your subject. So in this case, you can see that I created just another one, and now I'm pointing on the monkey and not on the cube. Now I'm gonna go back, Control Z, so that I only have one system. But here, when you use the lines, you also have these yellow dots that can be pointed in your subject. But right now you cannot do it because they are pointing on the cube. So this is all handled here. So if you select this, you can change the target. So if you delete it and then click on the other object, which is Suzanne, you can change the aim. There you go. And that's it. This is the last one. So you can either delete everything and do it again, or just change the target if you cannot do it with the yellow dot right now. Now we are set up. Now let's go to the key light, and you can see that it's really low. So I'm gonna go here and change the intensity. You can insert a value, let's say 30, and press enter. You can just click and drag with your left mouse to increase the lighting. You can see that you're gonna see the effect real time in this window right here on the top left. So this is fine for the key light. Then you can change it. You can point it from above or from below, depending on what sense you want to give to the scene, what look and feel. If you want to have like a horror movie or a street lamp or a studio light, depending on what you want to achieve, you can change the height. Now this is really small and concentrated. So you can see the shadows also are really sharp. Now let's go to the fill light. And what I tend to do is deactivate the others and then turn them on in the end. So here, the fill light usually is larger. So I'm gonna use the size. Let's set up this to 2 meters like this. And then power, let's make it 30 again. So fill light is not as intense as the key light. So you don't need to push this too high. Now, another interesting thing, you can click and drag here the angles to make it larger. And you can also change the color. So let's make something like orange. Now, Also, another important thing to know is that the bigger is the light, the softer will be the shadows. So this will not be sharp as the key light. And also details will be, and ambient occlusion shadows here will be, everything will be more soft instead of using a concentrated light. Now let's turn this off and let's go to the backlight. Now backlight, let's make it bluish, and again I'm going to click and drag and increase it. So you can see it's nice, it's coming from behind, but I can also change this. I can make this also bigger if I want. You can see it's a little bit different. So depending if you want to concentrate the shadows or more blur shadows and effects, you can change that. Now I'm going to move this around till I find like the place that I like the most. Probably can be this one like this. So it's really handy to work with one light at a time. So in the end, you can see the effect only of one light, and then you can mix them all together when you're finished. So let's open up all the other lights. And so this is the final result. Now we can adjust it. So I can go back here to the key light. Perhaps I want to make it less intense, and the fill light also. Probably I'm gonna make it less intense. Now this is your choice. Adjust everything to your liking. So this will be all for this video guide. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us, please join the channel as a supporter. Thanks, and see you in the next.